Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlicker, shills, debt slaves, hurts, peasants, vassals, minions, meat sacks, person of the year. So how about that? Time magazine actually had the balls to make Trump person of the year, and quite a turnaround. And I'm really surprised because over the last 8 years, of course, most legacy media would take every opportunity to snub Trump. And Time has really made a turnaround. Of course, they've made a lot of covers over the last 8 years, putting Trump in the worst light. And now they've made him Person of the Year. And it's kind of undeniable because this mandate that Trump's been given, this sweeping, crushing, humiliating defeat of the Democrats and their agenda, it just can't be ignored. And so, in some ways, I give my hats off to Time Magazine to getting with the program. But I have to say that this is indicative of a larger trend that's going on right now. And that's the fact that everyone is lining up to kiss the ring of Trump right now. And this Time cover is a pivotal moment in that. And another development that just came out is Mark Zuckerberg is going to donate $1 million for the Trump inauguration. And of course, Mark Zuckerberg and Meta/Facebook has been at the forefront of lies and misinformation about Trump for the last 8 years, and joined in with the government in censoring a lot of truth about Trump and helping perpetrate the government agenda. And so it's also kind of interesting that Elon Musk used to be part of that camp too. And one thing Zuckerberg and Musk have in common is they were completely impressed with Trump's actions when there was 2 assassination attempts. And in fact, Zuckerberg came out and said that he thought Trump was a total badass at that moment. And Elon Musk had the same reaction. So that was a big turnaround for a lot of these big players. And we saw kind of the seeds of this when early on in the Trump campaign, a lot of big players and elites and corporate heads were turning around and betting on Trump and putting their money on Trump. And so it begs the question, was this a setup? And did everybody jump on the bandwagon, or was this part of an effort to actually get Trump elected? But more important to me is looking at the big picture and seeing that the tides have changed, and this sweeping victory and mandate to Trump has made a lot of these big players get on the bandwagon. They're all lining up to kiss the ring of President-elect Donald Trump. And so we're seeing a lot of big changes happening already. Trump isn't even in office, and the whole DEI corporate programming is going to the wayside. New York Times did an article about how woke is now dead. We're seeing a lot of interesting stuff come out, taking a whole new angle on things. For example, there's a government report that came out that from the government that basically confirms that all the conspiracy theories about COVID and the COVID reaction and the vaccines and everything else, all these conspiracy theories were true. And we're also seeing more reports coming out now on legacy media about how a lot of federal agents were involved in January 6th, and that a lot of things we've been told about January 6th are false now too. So it's really interesting to see the tide completely turn. And of course, one answer for this would be that everybody wants to get on board now because Trump is going to be in power, and a lot of dirty laundry is going to be getting aired out. And so a lot of these people like Zuckerberg have something to fear. And so one of the things about this too is that a lot of these people are fearing retribution from the Trump administration for their parts in government censorship and the like. And it's almost an admission that they did a lot of things that were illegal and unconstitutional, and they're nervous about a lot of this coming out. And so we're seeing this across the board. It's really striking to see. But of course, part of it, a simple answer, is the fact that they want to be on board now with the winning team. And Trump won in a big way, and a massive statement was made by the American public that they want to go in a different direction. And so that's fairly predictable, but the scale that we're seeing this on right now is pretty amazing. So Trump has hired a lot of real bulldogs, a lot of people that really mean business, like the border czar and Kash Patel running the FBI and things like that. We could see a lot of unsavory things revealed, and I think they seem to be aware of that and want to get in the good graces. Another example of that too is the liberal media. The liberal media is taking a huge crash after the Trump election, and a lot of these liberal media outlets are trying to move in a different direction, and which is also amazing to see after everything that they've said over the last 8 years. The fact that we had Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski, two of the worst, go down and meet with Trump and try and find some common ground. Of course, they're back to their old tricks right now, but it's hard to say what's going to happen when the dust settles. If Comcast cuts loose MSNBC and it gets bought out by someone else, maybe even Elon Musk, there seems to be a tide turning, and some big dramatic things that could happen that would confirm this moving forward if the likes of Joy Reid and Rachel Maddow and The View, they're either fired or their programming is completely going to be overhauled. And so overall, I think this Trump being Person of the Year in Time Magazine is a very pivotal moment, and it shows that a lot of these big players are now getting behind the administration. So this is a whole different ballgame than when Trump was elected in 2016. And a lot of pundits have mentioned that it really feels different this time. And a lot of it has to do with just like I mentioned, the crushing and complete savagery of the Democratic agenda and Democratic candidates, and Kamala Harris and the Democratic policies, complete rejection, and a very, very thorough and convincing win. So, wow, how about that? Trump Person of the Year. It makes sense in a historical context, and it makes sense in the fact that we could see a lot of people playing ball moving forward over the next 4 years. And so, how about that? Time Magazine. But of course, Time Magazine also made Adolf Hitler Person of the Year on the cover of Time Magazine in 1933. So they've been wrong about a few things, let's say. But I'm still stunned. I couldn't believe they took this step, and it really says a lot about what's going to happen over the next 4 years. And let's keep our eyes open and we see more of these developments, and we see the entire Democratic agenda dismantled in short order. So there we have it. And so, of course, next year, I'm hoping that Time Magazine makes me a useful idiot Person of the Year. I seem pretty deserving, I think, as well. And the few people that watch me might even agree. So cast your votes now. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.